now I'd like to introduce Bill Lockett, who is a CEO or a co-partner in CIMA Network in Pennsylvania, and he has a very interesting story about how he got into the industry and where he feels his career is going, and so looking forward to hearing your remarks. So welcome to Bill.
Good morning, everyone. I think first off, let's give Lori and the ISA staff a round of applause for making this happen. They are a completely innovative bunch, and I think there's a tremendous lesson to be learned here in that they pay attention to their customer, okay? They pay attention to the people throughout this country who had a need as business owners, as different generations of employees. We had a need to bridge that gap in order to make the sign business better. And we talk about this stuff. We've talked about it for years, but at the end of the day, ISA took the necessary steps to advance this initiative. And a big congratulations to all of you in here who are regarded as the elite younger generation in the sign business. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. I've been intrigued with this whole generational gap for a long time. I had the opportunity to be mentored by older folks in the generation, some on the front end of the boomers. I've had the opportunity to learn from people far younger than me. And it's been an interesting experience. I've sat in rooms where some of the older generations said, hey, just do it this way, kid. This is the way it needs to be done. This is the way we've always done it. I appreciated that. I would talk to those folks and really understand why they felt that way. But more importantly, I would question them as much as I could to learn why they did it that way and what opportunities there were to maybe do it a little differently, maybe do it a little better. Probably a pest at times. If you ask some of my mentors in my previous life, they would say the kid just doesn't stop asking questions. And I didn't stop asking questions because I didn't want to settle for mediocrity. I wanted to make sure that I was learning from the folks that have blazed the trail in this industry, but using the skills and the things that I've learned in order to maybe make it a little bit different. I had a text communication with my son recently. He's 13 years old, and I think this is a small microcosm of, I think, the generational gap and some of the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead for us. He texted me and said, Dad, can I go over to my buddy's house? Text message, right? Technology. It wasn't a full minute later, and I get, Dad, question mark. I mean, the kid literally expected me to answer a text message within 1 minute, not pick up the phone and say, hey, Dad, can I go to my buddy's house and we have a real conversation? And I thought about that, and I thought, wow, that kid of mine, he's going to be a purchaser someday. He's going to be in a company someday. And guess what? He's going to demand that speed. He's going to want to know that when he calls somebody in any industry, in the sign industry, that he wants his answer, he wants his results, he wants his product, he wants his service quickly. And you all here are going to be forced to figure out how to deliver that, how to build on the legacies of the past, and how to shape the future in a way that's going to be able to fulfill that product and service with that generation. And I think it's a major challenge, and I look forward to watching all of you hit the nail on the head when it comes to delivering that. Little bit about my story. First of all, how many people set out in high school or college in this room to say, I'm going to be in the sign industry? Raise your hands, please. Okay, must be nepotism. Yeah, me neither. I kind of fell into this industry for an extra $1 an hour, really, is what it came down to, and it changed my life for the better. It's positioned me, my family, with opportunities that I never imagined would be possible. It's fulfilled unbelievable relationships with employees, partners, vendors, a number of relationships throughout the industry that I've been able to forge. But what intrigued me was nobody set out to join this industry, yet everybody stays. Why? So I want to talk a little bit about my journey and some of those points where I just knew I wasn't leaving. The first was, for $1 an hour, I came into a company called East Coast Signs back in 1998. And my first opportunity was a 450 location bank conversion. And I was brought on as a junior project manager. Now, how many of you have really solid training programs in your organization? Not a whole lot of hands, huh? So they threw me in to a project that was 150 days, tons of locations, and I had responsibility for the first front-end part of that program. And I had to adapt very quickly, which I'm sure all of you had to do when you joined this industry. And we went through the process and we learned, and it was painful. And you fast forward to the end of the project, and we were part of the unveiling. So when you do the bank conversions, I'm sure many of you know, you banner it. And then over a weekend, for all of these locations, you have to unveil it. We sat in a command center with 15 employees and roughly 60 crews out on the streets, multiple cell phones, and we executed a very challenging program. The teamwork, the camaraderie, the process, the competition, the pace, I was hooked. I was hooked. We then succeeded in that program. The customer wrote an unbelievable letter. I was further hooked. I said, wow, there's an appreciation for what we do. A couple weeks later, I received a bonus. I didn't ask for it. Now I'm really hooked. You throw a cash incentive on top of it, I'm in. That's when I think I knew that I wanted to be a part of this industry. And I continued to learn and grow. And then the next opportunity I had, the company was sold about 2 years into my tenure as I was growing in project management. We were acquired by Icon Identity Solutions at that time, and I was invited to participate on the merger and acquisition team. It was kind of a barriers best practice team. And it was unbelievable to me to watch two completely different companies, two completely different business models, two completely different cultures try to come together in order to make a larger sign company. And then to look at the way they separated the disciplines and look at how they engaged in order to fulfill this. I was like a sponge. I mean, I was listening and learning from some of the brightest in the industry. And I just sat there and learned and absorbed as much as I could. And at that moment, I knew that I wanted to eventually have an opportunity to run my own business. I thought that there were some things, and this may sound a little egotistical, that they were doing wrong, both companies. And within what I thought they were doing wrong, I saw tons and tons of opportunity. And I knew it was just a matter of time before I would try to do this as well. Throughout my tenure there, I met my business partner at East Coast Signs, Keith Denny, and he was a tremendous mentor of mine. I mean, on the business side, but more importantly, how to mature, how to be a grown man throughout this process. I was a little impatient. I was moving a little too quickly, and he helped me tremendously. And he ultimately ended up being my business partner in CIMA Network. So the journey has been pretty amazing, and we're still writing what that journey is going to be. We're still visioning what we can do better, what we can do tomorrow, how we can innovate, how we can give clients a better opportunity, a better service, and we'll continue on that path. I don't think there's a better place for this group to have its first inaugural elite meeting than Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas represents the past, the present, and the future of our industry. It's the crossroads of innovation. It's dangerous for me walking the streets because I'm going to get hit by a car. Because when I look up at one particular sign, I don't just go, wow, that's a cool sign. In my mind is, who designed that? What was the design intent? Who permitted it? Who project managed it? Who engineered it? Wow, that's an innovative product. Who was on that R&D team? Who was the supplier that went in and sold that? And I'm probably standing in the middle of the road at this point, you know, but And then who synthesized that from a management level? What CFO made sure that that was profitable and that the company could continue to grow and prosper? It's you. It's these individuals in this room that are the ones that collaborated on those teams in order to do great things. And yes, some of us will maybe see the projects that the Yescos of the world see on Tuesday every 5 to 10 years. But I think the important thing to note is the opportunities as individuals to collaborate and to do great things. We're not just a sign company. We touch on branding. We touch on project management. Sorry, if everybody knows one thing in my company, it's he doesn't shut up. So I'm getting the wave to kind of end this. So I'll say there's a couple of things that I want to challenge this elite group to do. First and foremost is work smart, not hard. Leverage the knowledge, the tools that you have to do things a little bit better. And I'm not saying don't work hard. You're not going to get anywhere with hard work, but work smart. Follow your passion. Stay passionate about your discipline. Continue to educate yourself. Continue to get better each day. And take this elite title as a badge of honor and go out there, be elite, and reshape the future of this industry. Thank you. I'm done.